Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hidayat Hamid and I'm 8 years old. And today, back with another book review. And this time, it is fortified with more knowledge and more reading. And this time, I'm doing 2 books. And these are Roald Dahl, The Witches, and Roald Dahl, The Twins. Okay, now I'm going to start with The Witches. And trust me, it's revolting. Let's start with the witches. It's too revolting. Now, as you know, there is one boy who lives with his parents and mother in Norway. His father has a business in England, so he is in England. But one day he's coming to his grandmother in Norway, and then he gets a car crash, and his parents die, but he's fine. Just getting a cut on the forehead. When he comes back to his grandmother's house, she tells them that what is the witches, and now they're witches, and they're not like, Now, here's one more spoiler. Don't think of those fairy tale witches wearing silly black hats and those, broomsticks like in Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. Don't think about that. Change the topic. Now, we are not talking about kids witches. We are talking about one witches which are leveled up. I'm talking about the witches who are just having, the same way that normal people. But they have cat's claws and blue teeth, and they have even blue skin. You can write a plan with that. And then the witches had no toes. No toes, foot, but no toes. And they wear gloves, so they can't be recognized if you see that. And then they wear shoes, those tiny pretty shoes. And you remember my episode of Lost Civilizations. It had that, foot blinding teeth. That's what I'm talking about over here. They had no feet, so they would say, and children would see them and they'd say, ah! And they were knowing it was a witch. So that's why they wore those pretty cute things. And it was really good. First thing another, they were bald women, and they wear wigs. And if you're bald, you need to wear a wig. And as you know, I have hair. Most of you have hair. You're not bald. Most of you have hair. I have hair. We're not bald. But still, the people who are bald, they have to wear when they wear wigs. They have this rough scalp under them, and it's gonna itch because of the wigs. Really itchy. There's, naked scalp with a wig. What is it? Very itchy. So that's why those wigs might, itch with those witches. So, and even cause them, they call that hair blindness. Foot blinding, hair blinding. It just causes rash on the head. So that's why. Now, this is the way to recognize the witches, he told the kid. Now, after that, he was building a tree house, and then comes a little beautiful woman, not a little, but a tall beautiful woman with, black claws and things, and it didn't know. When he said, okay, now here's another thing. I'm now speaking witch language. And in witch language, it is just like English, but you have to pronounce it like not the normal English, like this. Not O-N-E, V-U-N. 1 and 3. That's what is witch language. So they were like, I'm giving you the beautiful snake of all. And now you will go into the next chapter, you will find what really is witch language. But still he stays up for 3-4 hours and then he comes down. But this time he wasn't lucky when he goes to England again in the Hotel Magnificent. There's a mystery. First, his grandmother tells them the Grand High Witch, and she has this big headquarters with money, and she's like the biggest Mansa Musa of all time, and she's having some secret headquarters. Now, as you see, as we go on in our story, all travelers go to Hotel Magnificent in England, and they dance and hot. But still, now there's this meeting of the RSSSP, Resentment for the Prevention to the Cruelty of Children. And it is, what is it? It's not a RSSP. It is actually OCC, Organization of Cruelty of Children. That's what it is actually. So then the Grand High, which is like a beautiful, just take it, She's like the skeleton with a, and having fangs and this and that. You can't even imagine. That's why I tell you, it is revolting. So it was then the Grand High Witch was now speaking witch language, of course. And you know what he's like? She said that I give this filthy little scum this chocolate, and I said to him, what? It was not VOS, like VOS. Was it good? And the boy said, yes, it was great. And that's how witch language goes on. And then, they give that boy the chocolates, they test it. And when the other boy, the guy who came to him, and he says that he's frozen. And he tested on a boy who is having these chocolate bars. He's like so much eating. Lip him in the corridor, he's eating chips. You see him in the hotel lobby, he's eating sponge cake. You see him in the garden, he's, wolfing a dairy milk bar. What's even worse, he boasts about his wealth, about his father's wealth, and having 3 cars and this and that. Okay, he was like, now, in this book there is a really nice part right here, and you can see that they have, and they want this story with the witches who will argue with the Grand High Witch. That they do it over here, and that is no kidding. And she has a very scary song which will make your blood freeze. A stupid witch who answers back must burn until her bones are black. And it's of course in witch language. She screamed. She's back then, and the Grand High Witch still didn't pay attention. And the Grand High Witch went on. A foolish witch without a brain was must sizzle in the fiery flame. Then she goes on with a, thing. A idiotic witch like you must roast upon the barbecue. Now what you see? You know what? She doesn't even care what the witch she has. That's why I never argue with the Grand High Witch. A witch who dares to say I'm wrong will not be with us very long. And then a stream of water comes from her eye like the paw of guns. Anyway, now this mouse maker, Formula 86 delayed mouse maker, this is making the mouse children turn into a mouse. And you saw that they talk about this filthy little scum, and then they came in the chocolate, and the witches don't like them, so that's why they call them scums. Because what I can't even, it's so funny that they think that they smell the children like, if they're like roses, they'll smell them as dogs' droppings. I mean, don't talk about stale ones. Fresh! It's like fresh, straight from the supermarket. And as long as you stay dirty in the book, then they don't get it. Okay, now they also have, you saw that boy, now he was turned into a mouse. And then this Grand High Witch gives a very recital on this boy too. This smelly brat, this filthy scum, this horrid little lox will very soon become a lovely little mouse. So you got it. Now she's turning them to a mouse. And then the legs become small, the tail comes out, and even that boy, when the meeting finishes, they get him, and he's now a mouse again. But he still tells his grandmother everything and this and that. But now they get that Formula 86 delayed mouse maker, and now they're giving it. They're putting it in soup, which the witches are eating because they are disguised lovely ladies of the RSSP. They're hating with the hotel manager. They eat the soup, and they are now mice. And then the chef, he just hit them with a frying pan, and and the Grand High Witch was chopped up. But now here's the bad news. The good news is that the current High Witch is gone, But the bad news is another Grand High Witch is about to come. And then now they will go to the castle in Norway where the Grand High Witch is there, and they'll find all the addresses of the witches staying in the world. And they put the mouse maker inside this Norway's castle, and then all of them become a mouse. And then they'll track all the addresses and go to all across the world to get, the witches. That's how the story ends. Won't we go? Okay, now to bring another revolting story to you. The twins. So let me tell you. Now, I don't want to tell you, but see, it's gonna be very revolting. Now, as you know, a hairy man has hair, and when he eats, something gets stuck, food gets stuck. So, but this Mr. Twit thing really was. Mr. Twit was, something big, haired man. I've been stretching till over here. A beard, and then he thinks his beard will make him very grand and high, and he's 60 years old, and he eats so much that everything he just gets stuck in his beard. And he doesn't even wash his beard, so that's why he gets a lot of this dirt on this. So, as you know, he eats and eats, and you know how much he gets. That's why Mr. Twit never gets hungry. This is one dark and disturbing secret. Whenever he gets hungry, he just explores his hairy jungle and eats something inside. Oh, that's gross! People will yell out. But now, you see more. But then, as you wish, he has a lot of things, even breakfasts, lunch and suppers. Everything is over there. And, he eats, and now he's about to plot something on his wife, Mrs. Twit. And she puts her eyeball in a jug of beer, and when he sees it, he gets like, and the eyeball falls down. Now, to pay for it, it's a glass eye. Now, to pay for it, you know what he does? He just puts a frog in Mrs. Twit's blanket, and you know what? She just finds the frog and she just runs away. Then, to pay him back, she cooks spaghetti, puts worms in it, only in her husband's plate, and gave it to him, and he gets squished all over that. Just squishes all over. He doesn't know about it. But when he knows, then he pays back Mrs. Twit by faking her that she's having a shrink. And then she has a shrink and she put her in helium balloons and she goes up in the sky. But she comes down because of her keenness. She finds out that if I pop some balloons, I will come down. So now I'm going that they kept Muggle whip monkeys, and they could stand, and they wanted the upside down circus. And they didn't like the upside down circus, which Mr. Twit wanted. Now this roly-poly bird and the other birds come, and okay. This is another dark secret. They make bird pie. Bird pie! And you know how it is, like want this. So as they make bird pie, they just glue them to the big old tree until morning, and they catch them and then roast them. But one bird gets escaped, and that is of course the roly-poly bird. And at last they try to get the bird, but it never gets, and until what happens at last that they buy shotguns, and they're like, yes! Okay, they're like, let's borrow this little gun and go to it. And they just got this gun and they just loaded it, and they were about to shoot. But then, when a raven swooped over and hit, extra sticky glue. And as you know, the glue and all the furniture was already sticking up to the ceiling. And when they thought it was bird drops, they went under to wash it. But, they saw the furniture above. When the blood was running to their head, when they stand up on their foot, then what they did, what happened? They just stand it up on their head, and the glue did the trick. And then what happened? They get the shrinks, the dreadful shrinks. But this time it wasn't a fake. It was a real. The legs shrunk into the thighs. The thighs shrunk into the body. The body shrunk into the neck. And the neck shrunk into the face. and the face shrunk into the beard. and the body shrunk into the clothes. And that was their end. So here's the moral. Even if you have a beard, just wash it off. Because you don't want to end up like Mr. Twit. Anyway, now I said you, but next time if you have a school and there is a play of witches, and if you have a play of witches in there, you want to make a mouse sound. And there's these mouses, they're turned into mouses. Literally. And I wish you could read this book. You should read this book. It's a very nice storyteller. And now you see what happened. I'm just gonna tell you these mouses. Then now Bruno Jenkins, he was always eating and eating and eating. And when he was a mouse, he was still eating. Like when his grandmother, the boy's grandmother, took Bruno Jenkins, and he had a banana, and the banana was half, and she was telling so much important things. You know what happened? And he was still like, that's what he was like. So, you've heard two interesting stories. The witches and the twits. So, if you want to see more videos, go to my website, zidanehamid.com, or even log into my Facebook page. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Stay tuned. The BFD and Channel the Giant Peach are coming next.